Vice presidential nominee JD Vance bringing his age front and center of the RNC as he becomes the first millennial to join a major party ticket. Austin Browne is a campus reform correspondent and college student in Ohio. And Samantha Wilhelm is an Ohio resident, and they both join me now. Good morning to you both. Austin, what do you think about the big speech?
I think it was really great. I think that Senator Vance highlighting his age is going to be really effective with voters come November. I think a lot of people are quite fed up, honestly, with a lot of the politicians, especially Joe Biden and his age and his mental cognition, which has been on full display since the debate, especially. Since then, there was a poll that was conducted that found that 85% of Americans actually think that he's too old for a second term. And I would agree with that sentiment. And I think that a lot of voters are going to be in agreement that JD Vance brings a breath of fresh air to the political scene and provides a much younger perspective, especially for Gen Z voters, that we haven't really seen before.
Samantha, here's a little more of Vance's speech last night. These are his closing remarks. Watch this.
And I promise you one more thing. To the people of Middletown, Ohio, and all the forgotten communities in Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Ohio, and every corner of our nation, I promise you this. I will be a vice president who never forgets where he came from. And every single day for the next 4 years, when I walk into that White House to help President Trump, I will be doing it for you, for your family, for your future. Thank you. God bless all of you, and God bless our great country.
There you go. So there he is speaking directly to folks in Appalachia, in the forgotten communities, in swing states. That is ultimately one of the reasons why the former president chose him as his running mate. How do you think he appealed to those voters last night?
Yes. Good morning, Carly. Thanks for having me. He certainly had a tremendous moment last night, and we got to see the real JD Vance. We're very fortunate that he entered. Actually, East Palestine would tell you that he's been a great senator. He's keeping them forefront in the minds that things are not okay there yet. So he's a man of the people. It's very evident, very obvious, and we're looking forward to supporting him. Obviously saying Ohio over 7 or 9 times in his speech. He's very proud of where he comes from. But I guarantee the few times that I've worked with him, he'll represent all of the states so well. So we're very excited to support him on this ticket.
Yeah, and he talked about communities where there used to be prevalent jobs that have since gone away. And I'm sure that people in those steel communities in Ohio and elsewhere are probably thinking, he's speaking directly to me. And that matters. And Austin, Samantha mentioned East Palestine. That's where you grew up. And the mayor of East Palestine also spoke last night. We all remember what happened there early last year with that toxic train derailment. And listen to what he said.
For the longest time, the White House was silent, and we never heard a word from Vice President Harris. I guess we weren't their type of folks. No Hollywood elites or Wall Street billionaires live in East Palestine. Just hardworking Americans. But Donald Trump cared. He met with everyone, from first responders to local officials and residents. I know a thing or two about train wrecks now, and let me tell you, that's what the Biden administration has been.
He knows a thing or two about train wrecks. That's the notable line. But what he's really talking about there, Austin, is showing up. And that's something that both JD Vance and the former president did very early on to this disaster. It took President Biden a year to go to East Palestine. What do you think?
Yeah, I think just as the mayor put in his speech, he said it quite well. People don't forget. He didn't forget the difference in the leadership or lack thereof that Joe Biden showed during the East Palestine incident. And people do remember that Trump took initiative and showed up just a few weeks after the train derailment. So I think that when voters go to the ballot box in November, they're going to remember the dichotomy in leadership, not just from the presidents, but also from the running mates, and show that Senator Vance actually stood up for the people of Ohio and East Palestine and shed light and representation on a community that otherwise hasn't gotten very much of that.
Austin, Samantha, great thoughts from you both. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Have a great day.
Thank you. Have a great day,
You're
Carly.
very welcome.